Hey guys, it's Dangernation from Sports Capitalist coming at you with a Thursday night football breakdown. We have the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Los Angeles Chargers. And like we say at every video, help us out with the algorithm, help us get us going. Like, comment, and subscribe. And please look down in the description below and join our 100% free Discord. That's right, I said free. Check it out. We give out tons of good and free information there, like the information that you see on our screen, to make the most informed decision when you make your lineups for the weekend and try to earn that cold hard cash. So again, like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the Discord link in the description. And guys, I'm here because we're going to break down this week's slate and see what we can do to make you guys some money. Again, we're starting off with our QBs, and the pricings that we're looking at this week is going to be DraftKings. So, what do I think here? Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert. I think these are both great choices. These guys are going to kill it this week. Vegas thinks that the over-under is going to be 52.5 points. That is a lot of points. Vegas thinks this is going to be a very high-scoring game. Could be very well over because these guys are just two gunslingers going at it to each other. And their stats, if you just look at everything that we got going on here, it's so, similar. Besides the opponent's defense, it's just so similar to almost everything. So what does that say to us? You know what I mean? I mean, team red zone touchdown percentage, very important, 60 and 63. What I think is somehow, some way, you need to find a room for both of these quarterbacks on your lineup. But danger, that is like $13,000. How am I going to do that? Later on in this video, we're going to go over some cheap picks that you can pick up here and try to save some money that I think are still going to have a safe floor but a huge ceiling. But I mean, these are two very explosive quarterbacks, and again, Vegas thinks this is going to be a very high-scoring game. And where do these high-scoring games come from? From the QBs. Like, these guys have been doing great these last few weeks. You got to find a room on them both. I agree with Vegas on this one. I know, brave choice, that these guys are going to be huge playmakers, and you're just going to have to find room for them on there. And how do we do that? Well, we can go over to our running backs. Austin Eckler is questionable, but he was in limited practice today, which is good. And the coach says that he's just limited because he's sore and they want him to be ready for Thursday. That is good news. So you can expect Austin Eckler to play. What do I think about Austin Eckler? If you have him in your fantasy league, obviously you got to play him. I think for DFS, though, I think you can skip him this week. Yeah, he's explosive. He finds the end zone, you know what I mean? With 20% of everything going on the offense, that's huge. He has the best stats across the board of all these running backs. But I think this is going to be a challenge for him this week. I think the up front for Kansas City is good enough. And I think there's some... I think he's just too expensive for what it is. If this was 9,200, I would say find room for him. But 10,000, that's huge. I think he's like the third most expensive guy, or like fourth most expensive guy, minus the quarterbacks. But yeah. But again, some of the other choices, well, the only really other choice is Clyde. I think you need to start him this week. If you look over here to the opponent's defense, they're giving up 28 points to the running back. I think this is a slam dunk. He did great last week. He's healthy. He's again, he's not questionable or anything. I think he's going to go on a complete tear against Los Angeles Chargers. They have a weak run defense. I think this is the game to play him against, and he's decently priced at 7,000 too. Again, that's where you can save some of your money, because again, with showdowns, you want it at 8,300 is about the average player cost. So hey, you're saving $1,300 there. But what do I think about the rest of these running backs? These guys are non-existent. These guys aren't going to play. The only one that has a chance of playing is Gore, and that's if Clyde gets hurt. It's hurt, or this game is a complete blowout, which I don't think either one is going to happen. I mean, obviously, I can't see the future whether or not a running back or a football player gets hurt, but who knows? These other four are not safe picks. And in general, when you see a price below 4,000, even DraftKings thinks these are a waste of a pick. So yeah, man, these are the only two. If I had to choose one, I would choose the 7,000 guy. Get Clyde in your lineup. He is going to be chalky, so is Eckler. But again, these are the only two viable running back picks there are this game. All right, moving on over to the DraftKings wide receivers. So, good news. We got Keenan Allen back this week. He was out last week. He was on IR for COVID. Keenan Allen, by far, their number one wide receiver. Justin Herbert finds him in the red zone. He has 22% of his catches are not catches. Scores of the team are in the end zone here. Great stats across the board here. Last 3 games, about 26 average. Keenan Allen, you got to find room for him there. Mike Williams is a good receiver. I'm not going to deny that. But the last 2 games he's been struggling, and he hasn't been the same guy since, the first 6 weeks where he was super explosive, getting you 40 points. At one point, Mike Williams was considered the number 1 wide receiver over Allen. I obviously don't think that's happening this week, but again, he's below the average cost per player. You can save some money on that with him. I think he's a good pick. I don't think he's the best pick you can do, because I actually think your guy this week might just be Jalen Guyton again. Last 2 weeks, he has definitely been stepping up. He's been a much better receiver than before. He's at a very inexpensive 4,800. His stats are so low because he's just pretty much been a non-factor this whole week, or the whole year. But again, with Allen Williams stepping down, I know, again, Allen was out last week, so that's why Guyton stepped up. But I think Los Angeles Chargers is going to find ways to take good advantage of Guyton's ability to catch the ball, you know what I mean? He's been doing good these past couple of weeks, so I think they're going to get him more involved. Plus, the reason why I'm highlighting these Chargers receivers so much is because Chiefs have by far some of the worst receiving defense in the league. Again, average, they allow 34 points a game against the receivers, so that's huge. So you gotta be getting stacked with some of your receivers here. Again, the rest of these guys, they're not playing. Again, if you see anything below 4, you have to. If you get yourself in a point where you have to find a cheap play, it's a gamble at that point. It's a coin flip. You're playing roulette. Like, hey, it's gonna land on 22 red, and you're gonna get and he's gonna score that touchdown pass that the 2 times he's in that game. Who knows? But yeah. So, Danger, why are you ignoring the Kansas City Chiefs receivers? I'm not. They're just, I think, Tyreek Hill especially, just too expensive. Yeah, he's the whole team of the Kansas City Chiefs pretty much. And again, with 29 points that the Chargers are giving up, I don't think he's not that bad of a choice. But again, he's just so expensive. He is pretty much the whole offense, receiving offense of the Chiefs. I mean, if you just look at everyone else, only 12%, 54% of snaps. These other guys aren't in like most of the time. It's just him and the tight end Travis Kelce. Again, 86. He's in 84% of times, and he does look for him in the red zone too at 15. So what do I think about this with Travis Kelce and everything? I think he's expensive too. I think all of the offense besides Edwards is just expensive going in. Chargers defense does give up about 16 points, so this could be a weakness that you can exploit with Travis Kelce this week. He hasn't performed the last 2 games, but hey, this might be his bounce back since, again, Chargers are weak against him. He might be a good play. The other decent play, which he's at 54, so again, that's where you can save your money, is Jared Cook. Again, the receiver core for this team is really stacked, and he's only in 57% of the time because Parham does step in for him every now and then. But Jared Cook is very red zone dependent. They do look for Jared Cook on those short, third and short third down check downs. They throw to him real quick just to get those 4 extra yards. So hey, that could be piling up for you there. But in the end, Jared Cook is very red zone dependent. I mean, he has the same red zone targets as Travis Kelce this year, which, I mean, that pretty much should say everything. And he's had more targets than Travis Kelce. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this. Parham does come in, but it's too inconsistent. Even though with 45, he's not really into the red zone target. In the red zone area that gets targeted, that's usually when they put Jared Cook in. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on the tight end. And what do we got left? Well, we do have our kickers. And I actually think, and I know my buddy Jim is going to like this, I think this is a good week where you can seriously start both kickers. If you overload like on your receivers and your QBs, you got to find room for, valuable cap space for that. And that's where you could probably get your kickers involved in here. You have Harrison Butler at 4K. He's been on a tear because, again, Chiefs are performing better. Last couple games, 14 points, 13 points, 9 points, 12 points. That's great for a kicker. And that's great for a 4,000 salary, too. And we can't keep our boy out. Tristan, I don't know how to say his last name. No, wait, this isn't the guy. No, wait, hold on. Hopkins, yeah, there we go. Justin Hopkins. He replaced the other guy, and he's been at 13 points, 11 points, 1 point. That was against Denver, unlucky game. 12 points, 9. He could score really well. And again, Vegas thinks that this is going to be a high-scoring game, so these kickers' value could be really up there right now. What do I think about the defenses? Absolutely not. Again, we believe that this is going to be a high-scoring game. The defenses are just going to hurt you in the end. I think the better play would be, if you're thinking about a defensive play, I think the better play is to find some kickers in place of the, because they're around the same salary. So, yeah. Well, guys, that is my thoughts on the game. Again, like, comment, and subscribe on everything that you see here. Again, look at the description below. Join our Discord. Hit me up. We're there. We're here to help you. We're here to make you that cash. And everyone, have a good Thursday night. Let's make some money.